Hello, 8th hour. I am so sorry I am unable to be here today, but please enjoy this video on solving special systems of linear equations. So, there are 3 options for a solution to a system of equations. A system can either have one solution, where the lines intersect, and it doesn't have to be intersecting perpendicular. They can just intersect and cross at one point. A system can also have no solution. No solution is when the lines are parallel, meaning they never intersect. A system can also end up being completely the same line, which means they have infinitely many solutions because the lines match up completely. Okay, so we're going to find out what solutions they have. So if you remember correctly, you might have spotted that these lines are going to be parallel. If you look at their slopes, see how the slopes are the same? Same slopes means parallel lines, but let's graph it just to make sure. So we're going to graph the first one. So we're going to start at +1, that's my y-intercept. So I'm going to put a dot at 1, and I'm going to move according to the slope. Your slope is 2. Remember, whole number means you're going to put it over 1, and it means you're going to go up or down depending on if it's positive or negative. This one's positive, so we're going to go up and then always to the right. So we're going to go up 2, right 1, put a dot. Up 2, right 1, put a dot. So this is your first line. Then we're going to graph our second line. Here's my y-intercept, -5, and then the slope is the same. We're going to go up 2, right 1, put a dot. Up 2, right 1, put a dot. And you can kind of see, okay, I didn't draw that very well, but you can totally see that these lines are parallel. So you would actually say no solution. You don't have to put this part, but the reason is because you have parallel lines. You can put that if you want to, but you don't have to. The answer is no solution. So if your slopes are the same, it's going to be no solution. Okay, this one says solve by substitution. So let's see what craziness happens when you do that. So when you solve by substitution, remember the one that is equal to one variable, like this guy here, is what's going to go in the actual equation. And the one where x and y are on the same side is the one you're kind of working with. So we're going to replace y with 3x minus 1. So we're going to have our equation. I'm still recording. That's good. So here's y. So I'm going to go 3x minus 1. And then I have the minus 3x. So I just took the one that was equal to y and I replaced it. And I used parentheses. So then now we're not distributing anything. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just combining like terms. So we're going to combine the 3x and the negative 3x. So 3x minus 3x is just 0, so it cancels itself out. So then we're left with -1 is equal to 2. And that is definitely not a true statement. -1 and 2 are not the same thing. So this would actually be no solution because it doesn't make sense. And anytime you have no solution, and you could just put your reason down here, doesn't make sense. It's not true, right? Anytime you have no solution with a system of equations, that means you have parallel lines. So if I wanted to, I could rearrange these equations to put them in y equals form, and you would see that the lines are parallel. So watch, this one's already in y equals form. If I took this one and if I added 3x to each side, look what I'm going to get. 3x plus 2. Oh, look at that. Slopes are the same. So anytime you have the same slopes, no solution. So there's options. You got lots of options to solve it. Let's do elimination. Okay, this is what we learned last time. So in order to get them to eliminate, I need the variables to have matching coefficients and they're opposites of each other. So I'm going to pick on the x because then it's, I could do y. It really doesn't matter, but x is kind of primed and ready because it's equal to 1. So I'm going to see that this is a 3 and this is a 1. So if I multiplied the entire top equation by -3, that would make them turn opposite, so I could cancel. So I'm going to multiply everything by -3. So let's do that. We're going to have -3x. -3 times -3y is a positive 9y. -3 times 6 is a -18. Oh, and look what's going to happen here. I'm going to add down. Look, -3x plus 3x. Boop, cancels. 9y minus 9y. What the heck? Also cancels. -18 equals 18. That cancels too. So that means you're basically left with 0 equals 0. And that is a true statement. So this would be an example of infinitely many solutions. So that means if I rearranged them, they would turn out to be the same line. Okay, so if I rearranged them, meaning I made them all y equals, you would see they're the same line. Okay, this one says solve using any method. So, yeah, let's kind of look at that. I really want to show you that they are the same line. I want to show you this. So this is kind of a bonus. You don't need to write this down if you don't want to. This part right here in the black. I just want to show you how they actually do end up being the same line if you solve for y, so you can kind of see it. And then we divide by -3. So we get, remember there's a 1 in front of that x, so -1 over -3 is a positive 1/3. 6 over -3 is -2. So that's the first one. Then we'll solve the other one to get the y by itself. So you can see they are the same line. So I'm moving the 3x over. Oh, I've got a -x. That's good. Okay, then we're going to divide by -9. -3 over -9 is positive. Like it cancels out. And then if I divide by 3, I definitely get positive 1/3. 18 divided by -9 is -2. So look, they're the same line. Crazy. Okay, let's solve this one. So this one says solve using any method. I'm going to use substitution because it's already set up for me. So I'm going to take the equation where x and y are on the same side, and I'm going to replace y with -10x plus 2. Okay, my 10x's are going to cancel, and I'm left with 2 equals 10. So that means we have no solution. And they are parallel. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Your turn, meaning, my turn really. So this one's all set up for elimination. Let's do it. Let's eliminate the y's this time. What the heck? It's still all ready. If I multiplied this entire top equation by a -2, that would help my y's cancel. So let's do it. So we'd be left with -2x minus 2y equals 3. And then there's our, -6. And then there's our bottom equation. Oh, look at this. Everything is gonna cancel. So we're left with 0 equals 0. So we'd say infinitely many solutions, okay, because they ended up canceling out and becoming completely true. Let's do this one. This one says we have our x and our y on the same side. We're going to replace the y with what's given. Okay, I got to do some redistributive property. My x's are going to cancel, and I'm left with 6 equals 4, which is not true, so we'd say no solution, meaning they are the same line. So that is it. Please get going on your homework. Thank you.